Have you ever felt like you're fighting an invisible battle? Like every time you take a step forward in faith, something tries to knock you back down. Maybe you're feeling exhausted, discouraged, or wondering if you even have the strength to keep going. But the truth is, you are not just facing everyday struggles, you are in a spiritual battle. But the good news is, God has already won. And this episode is my way of showing the enemy that he holds no power over me and my life, just as he has no power over yours. So join me for a short but powerful conversation about spiritual warfare, God's purpose, and how to stand firm when you feel like giving up. You'll learn how to fight back with faith, trust God's timing, and keep moving forward, even when the enemy is doing everything in his power to hold you back. Welcome to the Faithful Sober Mom podcast, the show where we talk about all the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to navigating faith, sobriety, and motherhood. I am your host, Courtney Barron, an entrepreneur and work-from-home mom, here to help you take your power back, let go of who you used to be, and step into a life of purpose and meaning so that you can live a life truly free from alcohol and be the amazing, successful mom that I know you can be. Join me each week for real, raw, and honest conversations where I share with you valuable tools and resources, practical tips, inspiring insights, and so much more that will leave you feeling uplifted and empowered to take on whatever life throws at you. So grab your favorite coffee, tea, or beverage of choice, non-alcoholic of course, and let's dive into this week's episode. Hey mama, welcome back to the Faithful Sober Mom. This week's episode was not planned at all, and it's a little shorter than usual, but it is a message that was placed in my heart, and I knew that I needed to share it with you because God put it there for a reason. He came to me as I was fighting with every fiber of my being not to break down and cry. As a work-from-home mom and a nap time warrior, my time is very limited as to when I can get my work blocks in. So when I sat down to record an episode that, mind you, should have already been published because, well, life, only to realize about halfway through that none of it was being recorded. And it was probably one of my best takes ever. In that moment, I felt so defeated and was ready to give up on whatever time I had left because what's the point? No one is listening anyway. And I want to tell you that the spiritual warfare that has been happening since deciding to relaunch this podcast and fulfill my purpose has been unreal. Anything that could go wrong has, between technology, life, kids, relationships, you name it. I've been getting spiritually attacked from all angles, and I'd be lying to you if I said there wasn't a moment where I wanted to give up, because that thought has crossed my mind more times than I can count. But with the season I'm in and some of the struggles I'm facing, the only thing I have right now is my faith, and I've been clinging to it every day, praying for myself, my family, and my business, but yet the attacks keep coming. And this is why. Spiritual warfare is real because your calling is real. If you were not a threat, the enemy wouldn't be trying to fight you. And the closer you get to God's purpose for your life, the harder the enemy will fight to stop you from fulfilling that purpose. As it says in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. But here's the truth. He can't win unless you let him. God has placed a calling on your life and in your heart that no one else can fulfill. He didn't bring you this far to leave you now. Your purpose isn't just about what you do. It's also about who you are in Christ. And no matter what season you're in, as it says in Romans 8:28, God is working all things together for your good. So whenever you feel like giving up, I want you to keep praying, keep showing up, and keep fighting. Even when you don't have the words, pray anyway. Let your tears be your prayers because the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Even when it feels overwhelming or pointless, show up anyway. Your obedience to God, even in the smallest of steps, is part of a bigger plan that you may not yet see. And that's okay. The battle may be fierce, but keep fighting anyway. The victory is already yours in Christ. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. You are strong because He is strong in you. Mama, I know the weight you're carrying. I know how exhausting it can be to fight battles no one else sees, to keep showing up for your kids, your faith, and your calling when doubt and weariness creeps in. But you are not alone in this fight. God sees you. He sees your obedience, your late night prayers, your tears that no one else notices. He sees the moments when you feel like giving up, yet you keep pushing forward. And He is with you, strengthening you, even when you don't feel it. Know that your faithfulness is never wasted. Every prayer you pray, every moment you surrender to God, every time you choose faith over fear, you are planting seeds of breakthrough. God is working behind the scenes. So today, stand up, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you are chosen, you are equipped, you are an overcomer, and you are loved beyond measure. You are made for this fight, and with God, you will win. So keep standing firm, keep trusting Him, and keep moving forward in faith, because God is leading you to something far greater than you can imagine. Your purpose is worth fighting for, and your breakthrough, it's coming.
Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of The Faithful Sober Mom. If this podcast has resonated with you or helped you in any way, I would love to hear about it. Please consider leaving a review and sharing on social how this podcast has made an impact on your life. And don't forget to tag @FaithfulSoberMom. Doing so will help others just like you find our community so that they too don't have to feel alone in this season. If you would prefer a more private, closed space, I invite you to join our community of support where you can connect with other like-minded women to share your struggles and triumphs in a judgment and shame-free space. I look forward to connecting with you on social, and until next time, remember that you are worthy, capable, and you are enough.